Welcome to Inspire, everyone. So glad that you're here with us, joining us on this beautiful, beautiful Mother's Day Sunday. As well, this is the fourth Sun. Wait, which Sunday is this? This is the second Sunday. Normally, it would be Reverend Jesse's service, but today we have Reverend Alfreda Lanoix. So we do have that beautiful.
I'm always the second Sunday.
Okay, thank you for correcting me. Reverend Alfreda is always second Sunday. So this Mother's Day, we have the gift of Reverend Alfreda Lanoix. So glad to have everybody joining us. I see lots of people from around the world. This is a good thing. Have just a couple of announcements, and the most exciting one, other than the fact that Reverend Alfreda Lanoix is our speaker today, really exciting that we have started to archive our services on our website as well as YouTube. And so whenever, I've heard comments by people that, wow, I wish I could see that again. I want to hear that message again. Guess what? It's now available. So I want to, first of all, thank our Sunday Service Committee, Reverend Tom Hennessy, Reverend Amina Bliss, Casey Carroll, and myself. We work together to bring you these services, and now we've got them archived online so you can see them over and over and over again. So that's really, really exciting news. What else? Again, we meet on the second and fourth Sundays of every month. Second Sunday, we have the wonderful Reverend Alfreda Lanoix. Fourth Sunday, we have Reverend Jesse Brune-Haran, one of our founding ministers. And right now, I just want to pause and welcome anybody who's joining for the first time. If this is your first time here, type a note in the comments, just say first time and where you're from. But even if you've been here before, let's all just celebrate each other. Make sure your screen is on gallery view, and let's all put our hands up and let's welcome ourselves. Welcome to Inspire. We know the truth about who you are. You're a divine emanation of the one power and presence that is God. You are a gift to the universe, and the universe delights in gifting you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so now, another wonderful treat we have our very own, let's see, wait, we're kind of changing the order of service a little bit. So actually, we're going to have Reverend Tom Hennessy lead us in our mission statement. So let's turn it over to Reverend Tom.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Mission statement. Inspire is a spiritual community of like-minded souls committed to walking our talk in joyous fellowship by demonstrating the power of love, compassion, and non-judgment every day in every way. Recognizing the divinity of all life, we stand united by actively liberating humanity by healing judgment, fear, and shame within ourselves. Our intention to create world peace, piece by piece. Woohoo! And now it is my pleasure to introduce. I've known this lady for a while. She's been also been one of our singers here at Inspire. She's a lovely lady, Faith Rumer.
Mute my. There we go. Now you can hear me. Great. Good sound? Okay. So I'm so pleased to be here today with my fellow brothers and sisters here at Inspire. It's my home and my family for such a long time, and it's such a pleasure to be here. I want to also recognize all the mothers today as Mother's Day. My mom passed several years ago, and I really want to remember her today, to know that she is in my heart still, and that it just in so much joy to have had her in my life for as long as I did. And so today I want to talk about faith and trust in my life. Now, several years ago, I changed my name to Faith. It was about 5 or 6 years ago. And I did that with the intention to live in faith, to live in the belief and the faith that we live in a universe that is here for us, that is always giving to us, that is love, that is always holding us in love. And every day, that is my intention to, in my meditations and in my prayers, to know that, to really know that I am one with God, that there is a universal presence that is here, always giving of itself, and that it is the great creator and has created me. So that's my prayer every day. Now, trust comes in on another level, which is, now that I believe that, how am I going to trust the process of life? Where do I want to put my trust? And so, this last year has been really interesting. I know for all of us, especially people who were coaching and teaching, and which was me, and is in person, and now everything was virtual for me. And I had to learn how to do that. I had to learn to trust in the process, that I was going to be okay no matter what. And that is really the gift of trust for me. To not to try to use my mind to try to figure everything out and to try to solve everything, because I can go there. I like to be in control, and I like to figure things out, and I like to plan, and I like to do all of that, which is great on some level, but it only gets me so far, because I don't know everything. I just don't. I can't. But I can trust in the process, that everything is always working out for my good. And not to worry about the final outcome. What's going to happen if this happens, or if this happens, or if this happens, because I just don't know. I just don't know. So in this last couple of months, there's been a lot of transition in my life. And I have really surrendered to the process of trust, that the process of life is working out. Just like in nature, everything that we look around in nature, I'm looking out my beautiful windows here and seeing these trees and the flowers across the way, and they're trusting, the nature trusts that it all is going to unfold perfectly. So I have had an office, a studio, a recording studio, an office for the last 25 years of my life, maybe almost 30 years of my life now. And this last month, I gave that up. I moved my recording equipment into my apartment, and I gave up my studio. And there was a time in my life where I would have been in panic mode about it, because I had such an identity with it. And I was like, how am I going to teach? How am I going to do this? What am I going to do? Well, I surrendered to it. And I was a little sad about leaving the office, but I know there's something more for me. I know something more is revealing. So the process of how it happened was amazing. I had so much help doing it. I had a vocal booth that is huge, that I didn't want to move into my apartment, and I didn't know what to do with it. And I surrendered to it. Well, someone decided that they were going to buy it from me. They moved it for me. Then they decided that they weren't going to buy it from me, but they still wanted to move it into their studio. Now I got a call from him, and he said, I'm looking for a buyer for it, because I decided I don't want to do it. So I'm going to take care of that. I'm going to sell it for you. I'll give you the money that I said I was going to give you. So it's an amazing how that, just surrendering to that, how that happened. And I'm letting go of moving and moving from my apartment, which I've lived here for a long time and I really love it, but I know there's something else going on here for me. I'm moving from this place, I'm moving into a new place. I'm trusting the process that I don't know where I'm going to go. I don't know. I have no idea where this house is going to, where it's going to appear, but I do know it's going to happen. And I know it's going to be for my best no matter what's going to happen. So I get to let go of control. And there's something really great about that, something that feels amazing because it allows me to be able to sit in the moment and love the moment and enjoy the moment right where it is. Alan Watt said, life is like music. And I thought about that. Life is like music because in music, we don't wait for the last note to be played to feel satisfied, do we? We want to savor every moment of music. And I know when I'm listening to a great piece of music, a great singer, or something that's inspiring me, I actually don't want it to end. I want to savor every single note, every single moment. And that's what life is for me right now, is to savor every single moment, to trust in the process that it is working out for me, that no matter what happens, and I don't know what the future is going to hold. I really don't. But I'm going to trust that I'm being held in the arms of God. I am being held in love. I am being held by the creator of life that has created everything. And then to trust, of course, that my life is also being held in that love. So thank you. Thank you for this time. I'm really just so grateful to be in the presence of this loving community.
Thank you so much, Faith. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that was the perfect God shot to lead us into a meditation. And I love the words that you said, being held in the arms of God.
Yes.
And so that is what I invite us all to take into our meditation. So I invite you to become comfortable in your seat. Just sitting up straight. And let's consciously and deliberately allow our eyes to close. And as our eyes are closing, if we could, let's choose to allow our hearts to open even more. Let's remember that we're being held in the loving arms of God. And let's follow our breath for a moment. Let's inhale deeply the love of God. Exhaling completely as we relax into gratitude. And so we inhale love, exhale gratitude, and just follow our breath for a few precious moments. There's nothing to do, no place to go. We're simply present to love, present to gratitude. And we just take a few precious moments in this stillness. Love and gratitude. Just following the breath, inhaling love, exhaling gratitude. Noticing any thoughts, but allowing them to drift by as we just come right back to the breath. And ever so gently, we begin to become aware of our bodies, aware of the chair that you're sitting in, aware of this moment, and aware of the love that surrounds each of us. We remember that we're held in the loving arms of God. And so I take this opportunity to speak a word of blessing for today's service. Father, Mother God, infinite intelligence, how thankful I am for this gathering, for this opportunity to speak a word of blessing, recognizing that God is absolutely everywhere present and localized right here, right now, as me and as everyone that is present in the Inspire Spiritual Community service. Those who are present, those who thought of us, those who don't even know we exist, we remember our oneness and union in spirit. We remember that we're never, ever alone. We remember that we're one with absolutely, positively every person, place, and situation that exists. So it is so easy for me to relax into this prayer of blessing, naming, claiming, giving thanks that this service is one of inspiration, transformation, one that allows each of us to know the truth of our very own divinity. I am thankful for the words of Faith Rumer, thankful for the words of Reverend Alfreda Lanoix as they inspire us to be more of our very selves and never less. For what I know is that the more of our authentic self that we show up as, the more God is available on the planet. And so together we commit to letting God be God in a big, bold, magnificent way. And so we are in fact and indeed inspired, lifted up. We know the truth of our own divinity and we are recognized by it. The universe responds to us with love, with support, and it is easy and effortless. So I'm thankful to know that absolutely positively everything is in divine right and perfect order for each of us and for all of us. The world is made a better place because we kept this divine appointment. I'm thankful and I am grateful. I let go and I let God guide us and direct us from glory to greater glory. It is done. And so it is. Amen. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for meditating with us. And it is my pleasure to bring forth and introduce our very own Reverend Alfreda Lanoix for today's sermon. Reverend Alfreda.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I am so excited about being here. Let me start off by saying Happy Mother's Day to all of us that are mothers. This is our day designated for us to be recognized, although, you know, I feel like we should be recognized 365 days a year, but that's another whole story. But happy Mother's Day. Thank you, Faith, for your God shot. It was amazing and it was awesome and wonderful. Trusting the process or living in the process. To trust the process wholly, completely, is to not know what is unfolding or why, but simply to be here in the present moment to experience it. You've heard me say often that life is about experiencing and being able to experiment. We are here to experience this thing called life. And a lot of times we get caught up in trying to figure it out. Well, the thing that I know is that you will never be able to figure it out because that is not the way it is designed. But we are here to experiment, try new things, and to experience this thing called life. Experiencing life means to observe the events that's happening in your life, to be able to feel them, to be able to open up to them, and to take them in. It is not until we're able and we are standing naked and vulnerable with all that you thought you knew, and that is stripped away, that you are given the opportunity to live, to breathe, the profound level of trust. And how I always say is when I know what I know that I don't know, gives me the opportunity to be open to the knowing, to be able to experience this thing called life. If you're trying to control it, if you're trying to figure it out, it allows you not to be able to experience it. And it is in the experiencing of it is where we grow. When after all that you think or thought you knew, and you still end up in the same situation, after you've gone to college and gotten your degree, after you've gone through many spiritual workshops, you've read many books, you are grown and aging, and you still end up in the same situation, that is the opportunity for you to begin the process of trusting this thing called life. Trusting the process and living in the process is understanding. And Faith said it so well. It's understanding that you are not in control. We are not in control. And we know when we're trying to control things, that's our fear. And we know that fear and faith does not live in the same energy. And so when you recognize I am not in control, that I can surrender, I can let go, and I can begin my journey of trusting. Now, letting go, surrendering, does not mean that you don't play a part. We do play a part in this process. What part do we play? Living in the process is about spiritual living. It's about the opportunity to live completely, wholly, joyously, with our spiritual expressions in every facet of our lives. The part that we play is we do what we need to do. If I have a goal, if I set out in life to succeed in a particular goal or a particular situation, there are things that I do. I do all that I can do. And then it is at that point I surrender, or I let go, or I trust the process. What keeps us from trusting the process sometimes is our expectation, because we want what we want it the way we want it, and so we try to control it. But when you know that everything is working for your highest good, because we have been given a God that punishes or a God that judges us. But when you recognize that God is all love, that the universe is always supporting you, that the universe always wants what's for your highest good, you can begin the process of trusting the process. Woo! You can begin to let go of the things that no longer serve you. Now, the process is the steps that are taken. The part that I play is trusting my intuition, my inner GPS, my inner voice, my conversation with God, my source, and the universe. So when I can trust my intuition, my insight, in other words, it's telling me, make this decision or make this choice. When I can trust that, then I can begin to trust the process and allow the process to take the necessary steps that's needed. It is within the steps I grow. You grow in the process. You don't grow at the conclusion, in the conclusion. You grow in the process. And if you trust it, you grow without worry, without stressing yourself out. Because if you're going to worry, why trust the process? Trust allows you to be present, to live in the moment, and to live consciously. Sometimes it takes so much for us to live in the moment. I've said often about the 92,000 thoughts, and some of us even have more. But when you're able to live in the moment, to feel what's happening in the now and not be afraid, living in the moment is living without expectations, but being able to live with acceptance. I'm going to accept where I am right now. And the reason I can do that, the reason I can trust that, the reason I can trust the process is because I know peace of mind. I know that this is not the all in all. And I also know that whatever it is and wherever I'm at, this too shall pass. I can remember being in a situation where I was at a job, I was in a position, and I was burned out. And everything inside of me said, it's time to go. Said that you've done all that you could do in this situation, in this position. You're no longer happy. It doesn't bring you joy. There is no fulfillment. But it was my fear because I said to myself, well, if I go, where am I going to go? And the universe kept saying, don't worry about where you're going to go. Don't worry about doors that will be open. You just need to be brave enough to trust the process and let go. And there was a struggle. I didn't want to let go because I had promised my daughter, I had promised people different things. And with this position, I could fulfill those promises. But sometimes in life, promises are made to be broken. When you are trusting the process, you sometimes have to break those promises that were made at another time. So the universe said, now you can go, you can walk out, or you can be carried out. And so as afraid as I was, I knew I needed to be brave. And I knew that I needed to trust that all is well. And so I remember taking those steps to leave. And I remember my main promise was really to my daughter. And I had promised her that as far as she wanted to go education-wise, that I was going to be there. And so she wanted to go to graduate school. And I knew that if I left this position, that that was going to put me in a position that I could no longer financially help her. And I didn't want to break that promise as a mother. I didn't want to break that promise as a woman of my word. But the universe kept saying, it's time to go. Trust the process. And I stepped out, not knowing what was going to happen. But I stepped out, trusting the process. And within months of stepping out, within months of choosing myself, my own mental welfare, my daughter received a call from UC Irvine, not only giving her a fellowship, but also giving her a stipend, $1,800 a month, free room and board, dental, medical, everything that I would not have even been able to afford. And the universe kept saying to me, I told you, I got you. That's trusting the process. Now, this is what I knew. I knew that it was time to go, but I knew also that I didn't know where I was going to go. I knew that I was mentally, spiritually, and physically tired. I knew that it was killing me to stay there. It was killing me on a mental level, but also physically. My blood pressure was out of control. I had gained over 300 pounds. So I had all of the signs I needed to tell me it was time to go. I knew that I did not want to be wrong again. Because sometimes when we end up in the same situation after we've done all the other things and we end up right back where we started, sometimes it's difficult because we don't want to feel like we are wrong again. But when you're trusting the process, it's not about right or wrong. It's about what's going to bring you joy, fulfillment, and peace. I knew that I was scared. I was scared to trust the process. I was scared because I had been taught, that I had been conditioned, that I would be punished for choosing myself. I was scared because I wanted to live up to my promise. But when you trust the process, when you're trusting it, sometimes it doesn't make sense. Sometimes we get into why. Well, why is that happening? When trusting the process, it is not about the why. It is not about the why, because sometimes you're at a level that you can't even understand what is going on. But that's the beauty of trusting the process, is that you don't have to figure it out. It is being figured out for you. Doors are being opened that you don't even know. People are calling your name that you have no clue of. All you have to do is trust the process and be authentically, as Derek said, who you really are. Trusting the process. If you knew that God loves you and God always wants the best for you, if you knew that your experiences and the choices that you are making are non-judgmental, and if you started loving yourself authentically, if you knew that everything, the universe is working for your highest good, would you begin the journey of trusting the process? What keeps us from trusting the process of the stories that others have told us? But when you begin to examine and when you begin to look at how this thing called life really operates, that yes, there is a part that I play. Yes, I have to be available. I'm so sorry. Let me see.
believe we can hear you, Reverend Alfreda. Maybe not. So guys, Reverend Alfreda will rejoin in a moment. Why don't we just take another moment of silence, take a deep breath, and just take in what she's already spoken, and just center in this moment once again. Again, feeling gratitude, feeling love, being present to the love that surrounds us. Just feeling love and gratitude. Thankful for the technology that supports us. Thankful for Zoom, and thankful once again for Reverend Alfreda as she reconnects and continues. Reverend Alfreda, we can see you, and we're waiting for the audio to connect.
Okay, I'm back.
We're back. Yay.
I'm Spectrum. I'm so sorry, Spectrum.
We're
Okay.
trusting the process.
We're trusting the process. But trusting the process, if you are trusting the process, the benefits from trusting the process is it allows you to have life and have it more fulfilling. It allows you to be able to realize that life is an adventure and that you create your own reality and that you can create your reality again and again and again. It allows you to realize that you're always being supported when you trust the process, that you are never, ever alone, that the same energy that created you is still here with you. When you learn to trust the process, you will begin to enjoy life on a whole new level. All you have to do is remember the last time when you thought you were not going to make it. Remember the last time when you were at a crossroad and you did not know what to do. It was the process that carried you through. It is trusting the process that will reassure you that everything is working for your highest good. Learning how to unlearn and to be open to the experiences of life, to understand that even if you find yourself in a difficult situation, nothing lasts forever unless you choose for it to. You have everything that you need in order for you to create life, to enjoy life, to embrace life, and to be grateful for this thing called life. And one of the greatest tools is learning how to trust the process. It is the steps that will empower you. It is the steps that will allow you to grow if you begin to be brave enough to learn how to trust the process of life. God bless you. Thank you.